Good morning, guys. This is a project that we just got started. We demoed this out. There used to be a wall in here. Demoed out, so we had a cool little coffee bar area. And this whole thing is going to be changed into an office for a couple guys that have a business, and they're taking over the whole space. Well, they bought the whole building. We're going to put a gym in here and change out some light fixtures. This is going to be a little open office area for them. And then you come around in here, and this will be a cool conference room. We took a lot of panels off the wall, and we're going to put in some new kind of soundproof panels. It's going to be really interesting and a really cool, I think a really cool vibe. We removed the door. We're going to close this up to make a kind of changing area in here in an existing bathroom, which you can see. And as we kind of work through things, I'll definitely try and make some more kind of videos to show how the process is going. We're going to come upstairs. The two brothers kind of have their office and thing up here, and so they're going to make it kind of cool. We removed the big shelving unit out of here, and we're going to put a TV with some cool wallpaper. We removed the big wall out of this area to make a big office, and then we're going to cancel this door, and this will be another kind of open work office area. Another office that we demoed out here. Yeah, it's kind of all coming together, looking good. All right, so I just left the Fayetteville job. I am on my way to the apartment complex to meet with Thomas. So yesterday we got our first C of O on Unit G, and we are trying to get a couple more C of Os on the other buildings, but we ran into a problem. So in each of these buildings, there is what we call a riser room. And the riser rooms are for the sprinkler systems. During the winter, we didn't have power on yet. And so we insulated the rooms the best we could. We wrapped insulation around all the piping and, you know, kind of hoped for the best. We drained the water out of the pipes. And about a week ago, we were getting everything ready to turn on, and literally every single they call it like a backflow prevention. I don't know if you call it a coupling or like a valve. A valve. That's actually the proper name. A valve. It was broken, and the ones that we were sold were unrepairable. So the company is working with us to help us to get new valves in, but like everything else, valves were not in stock. They're coming from Texas. So we've lost some days. So they were able to get a couple that they had and got some buildings fixed. So we're able to get C of Os on those. And we're waiting for, I believe, 6 more to come in. And so once they get those in, we'll be able to do our C of O. And then once we do our C of O, that means it's a certificate of occupancy. That allows for the new owners to start to have people move in and to live in the apartments. And so, you know, our whole plan with this apartment complex is we really thought that we could get it done within a year. Then it went to a year and a couple months, and now it's been, I think, our new goal, and it looks like we're going to hit it. It's going to be mid to the end of May. And so it'll be about almost 2 years that it's taken us to do this apartment complex. You know, and at first I kind of felt bad about it, but you know, the more and more I think it's my first time doing apartments, I have to give myself a little bit of grace, and we've done a good job. And there's been a lot of things too that have kind of happened throughout the way that I feel pretty confident saying they were kind of out of our hands. And so our goal is just to try and kind of keep pushing forward, to try and be on a positive mindset, and yeah. So I'm coming anyway to meet Thomas, Mr. T is what I call him, and to kind of go over with him. We have the inspector coming to do a walkthrough on the other building, and then after that, then the fire department comes and they do their walkthrough. And so in the commercial stuff, at least here where we live, we need to do, the civil engineers come and they do a walkthrough, then building inspector comes and does a walkthrough, and then the fire department comes and they kind of sign off on everything. And once you get all those people signed off, we're good to go. And then from there, I've got a quick meeting with another investor that we're going to start up a cool little project in the downtown Cave Springs area, and it's actually where we have our office. And this guy is actually a young investor. I think we're about the same age, and he's gotten a really cool building, and we're excited to be a part of it. I don't think we're going to do everything for him. He's in the construction industry, so he's going to try and do, I think, a couple things himself. He also has a lot of friends in the business, so it's understandable, you know what I mean? Like sometimes when you're running into things like that, especially when you're trying to invest, a lot of times, right, you want to do the job good, but you also have to be conscientious on how much money you're spending. And so if you can get favors or get a better price from a buddy, sometimes you just have to do that. So but I'll be happy to try and start sharing that once we get going on it, and yeah, we'll go from there. Made my quick stop here at the apartment complex and did a little walkthrough with Thomas. He's down there at the moment. I'll try and do a bit of a zoom in with the inspectors. Left before they got there. But this unit is all, that's H, that's all cleaned up, and I think they got their final yesterday on that. The one on the very bottom is G, that's already been inspected. They got their C of O on that. F is getting inspected right now and should hopefully get its C of O today on that one. And then the next is E. So E, we're gonna get the inspection on that, I believe, either tomorrow or Friday. We'll get the inspection on that. Kind of jump across and we'll go, you can't really see it because the container's there, but we'll get this building on the far corner, and then B, C, and then D will be the very last one. Coming together slowly but surely, and looking good. I'm meant to get some rain today, but at least everyone is kind of working on the inside. So this is the riser room. Not the most lovely looking area. It's got a quick, well, not even the nicest really, mud and tape, but it's really a room that'll never be seen. The guys are coming back and kind of sanding them and putting a little coat of primer on them. They have to seal up really tight around these penetrations. The piece has already been removed, but there's a piece that goes from here to there that connects, and that's the piece that broke. And all of this is the sprinkler system stuff. It's the best way for me to explain it. But some pressure, I guess, valve things. I'd be lying to you if I told you exactly I knew what it was, but I just know that the water comes in through there and goes out into the sprinkler systems, and it's all connected and all that good stuff is in there. The guys are actually down having a meeting at the moment. I would show you what one looks like, but I'm not gonna go down there. So this trailer was actually the first trailer that I had when I started my business, and I sold it to a carpenter that at the time was doing a bunch of work for me, and then kind of he took off and started doing traveling work around different parts of America. And anyway, a couple years later, we're working together again, and he had the trailer with him, so I thought that was kind of cool. So I was kind of just telling you about that trailer, but yeah, Jaime worked for me back when I very first started, so back in 2010, and I don't even remember how I met him, but he was doing a lot of like cabinet stuff for me and trim things for us, and obviously wanted to grow his business like everybody, and he kind of took off and started to do a bunch of traveling work. It was in Chicago and the places he went, but he was really traveling a lot, going out anyway, doing his own stuff. And so we stopped using him because it was tough, obviously, trying to work for someone that was constantly out of town. And I mean, we didn't work together for probably 7 years, eight years maybe. We didn't work with him. And he came back into town, and we actually bumped into each other at this apartment complex, and we thought he'd be perfect for the job because that's kind of the stuff that he was doing when he was traveling. He was doing a lot of like apartments and then student housing. Anyway, yeah, he's kind of back with us and working, and he's a great carpenter, has a really good team of guys with him, and things have been going good. But it's just funny, like all around story, you know, sometimes how things like that in life happen. And again, just seeing that trailer kind of reminded me of the first trailer I got. I actually bought it from my father-in-law. Used it for a while, and then we realized we didn't really need a trailer, and he needed one, and so we sold it to him, and he still has it, so it's worked out good. I am on my way now to this little meeting that I'm meant to have with the investor, and then from there probably back to the office to try and do some email paperwork stuff, and go from there. Hey guys, I am back at our job in downtown Rogers. I'm meeting with our carpenter to get lined up to start doing interior finishes. But probably won't be ready, I'd say, for about another week and a half. And waiting for the drywall crew to get in and get their stuff done. I wanted to show you behind me is the Kwanzaa hood that we put up, and we've started to do the metal framing inside. And we've kind of been put on hold on that because of the specialty track that we had to get. It was meant to be in, and now it's back ordered and all that good stuff. But we've been working on that, and it's also coming along really cool. So this is a little bit different than your typical wood framing. Kind of the same, but different, all the same. Come down, we shoot this, our track in, and then this is a 3 5/8, so it's not like a true 4-inch. And we come in and we're kind of supporting them on here. And we've got to use the existing bolts in order to hold our track in, because this acts as the roof and everything, so we can't shoot nails into it. So we line everything up kind of on the existing bolts. And then for the doors, they're going to use a wooden door. And so we kind of case them out of these 2x4s so we can put screws in a little bit easier to mount our doors to it. And yeah, it's coming along good. Just waiting for that stuff to get in, and then we'll be able to get going. And once we get all the framing done, then the electricians, plumber, HVAC guys will come in after us. We're not doing any of that part of the job. And then after that, it'll be we'll be into do sheetrock and OSB. Over at the house that we've been remodeling in Bentonville. And I'll tell you, sometimes things look a lot worse before they look better. It was interesting actually, we had posted a little clip on our Instagram page, and someone had commented and said, well, why didn't you just put the new siding over the old siding? He said, you're kind of doing that to make more money. And our comment back was kind of like, well, it's a good observation. Yeah, we could have maybe put the new siding over the old, but this already had like 4 layers on it. It would have been sticking out past the windows, and it just wouldn't have been the right thing to do for our customer. The first layer already has water damage to it and had some kind of rotting stuff going on, and the customer does end up paying us more money for that. It's the truth, but we definitely believe in trying to have good quality, you know, over just covering something up and maybe saving a few dollars and then later on having issues. Guys, it's the end of the week. I am here in the conference room talking about some stuff with Bo and Jeffrey. Yeah, I hope everyone's gonna have a good week. I'm actually gonna go and check in on a job before I go home, and we're trying to just talk about the coming week to see what our plan is, what we can get done, and be proactive, and go from there.